Almost everything you learned in school about success, about purpose, about making money, about life was wrong. And if it wasn't wrong, it was at least incomplete. Why is it that some of the most important things in life don't get talked about in school? As someone who has overcome extreme poverty and has succeeded against so many odds, someone who lived in 26 places before I was 16, someone who was a high school dropout who had a zero point 0.6 GPA, to someone who now has a PhD and who's happily married, to my college sweetheart who has three teenagers, someone who's been on the road 25 years, and I've spoken to millions of people, um, big stages all over the globe, 49 states, 6 continents. I want to share with you 20 brutal truths that you don't really learn in school or in most places. And so I want to share with you from my experience. All right, so let's go. Lesson number one, and I'm going to lose count of this order because I just kind of scribbled them down. But lesson number one is nobody is coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. My friend, I went through life early on hoping someone with money could come and just write me a big check. Someone could just step into my situation and turn my life around. Someone could buy me a house. Someone could get me a car. Someone could get me an airplane. Someone could give me a lot of money. Someone could solve all my problems. It never happened. It wasn't until I took complete ownership and responsibility of my life that things began to turn around. And so you need to understand no one is coming to save you. As good of a person as you are, as good intended as you are, as well meaning as you are, man, people with money don't feel any obligation to share it with you and don't have any obligation to share it with you because you didn't work for it. They worked for it. No one's coming to save you, but you have everything you need within you to go get it. Everyone, everyone in your life is a wing or a weight. Everything and everyone in your life is either lifting you up or weighing you down. Cut the weights and cling to the wings. You are not your environment. Just because you live in the hood don't have to live in you. Just because you live in the trailer park, it doesn't have to live in you. Just because you live in the barrio, the favela, the shanty town, those places don't have to live in you. Don't get me wrong. Some beautiful people there, some wonderful things happen there. Don't get me wrong. But so often, where I'm from Long Beach, California, from the hood, and I've even lived in trailer parks in Aurora, Colorado, and all over, it's easy to limit yourself and have self-limiting beliefs based on where you're from. You are greater than your circumstances. You're greater than your environment. They can shape you and describe you, but they must not define you or limit you. Here's another one. Vulnerability is not weakness, but pretending to be okay is killing you. You see, a lot of us, and me included, man, you go through life and just trying to tell yourself, like, I'm okay, I'm fine. You put that S on your chest and you just take it. You grin and bear it. F your feelings. Like that was my mentality for so long. And I had to have that mentality to overcome so much of the drama in the BS that I was in. But at at a certain point in your life that becomes unhealthy, and sometimes you're not okay, and sometimes you need help, and sometimes you need to talk to someone. Here's another one. Humility is not optional. We got a lot of people, man, who think it's a liability to be humble. Man, don't be humble. You be proud. You be confident. You walk into your purpose. Man, you don't gotta humble yourself. Humbling yourself. Religion make you humble, man. You don't need to be humble. You need to be confident. You need to walk. Listen, man, humility and confidence are not antithetical. They're not opposites. And here's what I've learned. Here's what I've learned. You either humble yourself or life will humble you. You can have confidence, but that confidence should be tempered with a healthy estimation of your own self worth and your own self importance. Another big lesson is faith is not a feeling, it's a decision. Listen, man, there have been times in my life when things were terrible, terrible, man. I'm talking about homeless. I'm talking about sleeping on the floors of homeless shelters. I'm talking about eating food out of dumpsters. I'm talking about fighting a grown man. I'm talking about having no food in your fridge. I'm talking about the lights being cut off. I'm talking about you being evicted again and again and again. I'm talking about living in 26 places before you're 16. I'm talking about not having $400 to pay your phone bill at college, and because you can't pay your phone bill, you can't get your financial aid, and if you don't get your financial aid, then you get kicked out of school. I'm talking about I have been down and low and struggling. Not down low. Not down low. I have been down to my last dollar, and I didn't have a feeling of faith. No, it was a decision. Faith is a decision. That faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. It was a decision that I am going to make it through this. God is going to bring me through this. And in the same way, in your life, man, sometimes you don't feel it, but you got to decide, man. I believe that God is going to give me what I need to make it through this. Faith is not a feeling, it's a decision. Nobody claps for the work they don't see. Man, listen, for years, I delivered speeches in empty rooms. I was at UC Berkeley working as a security guard, and I had keys to the facilities, the Poly Ballroom, and I'm trying to think of the name of the buildings. But anyway, I had keys to all of the facilities, to several facilities on campus, and they had ballrooms where guest speakers would come. And I just felt inspired to go into those rooms and deliver speeches to empty rooms. I would stand there and deliver speeches. I would deliver speeches from Martin Luther King, speeches from Frederick Douglass, speeches by people who inspired me, at least parts of speeches, in these empty rooms, man, believing that one day I would be talking to real people. And I did that for years, and eventually I started getting opportunities, and small audiences became bigger audiences, became arenas, became stadiums, became 100,000 people. But it started in the dark with no one clapping for me. Are you willing to work in the dark? Are you willing to work when no one's cheering you on, no one's clapping for you, no one's believing in you, no one's encouraging you, no one is putting wind in your sails? You're just there by yourself with a dream, with a vision, with a purpose, with a calling. No one claps for the work they don't see, but they don't need to see it. Get to work. Passion without discipline is just a hobby. Hard but brutal truth. A lot of people are passionate. You might be passionate about something, but if you don't have discipline, then that passion is just a hobby. If you don't discipline yourself and put some structure in place and some accountability in place, and do it when you don't feel like it, do it when no one's looking, do it because it's important to you, getting up early, putting in the work, putting in the hours, the days, the 10,000 hours, the staying up till 2, 3 in the morning sometimes because you're so passionate about it, man, you've got to discipline yourself to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Okay, here's another one. Stop trying to impress people. Serve them. People don't care about you. The favorite radio station of most people is WIIFM. What's in it for me? Serve people. Don't try to impress people. Don't try to make them clap for you. No, serve people. Add value to their lives. And in turn, that will bless you. And that sometimes will often lead to money and finances. I believe money follows ministry. Ministry is service. Adaptability is non-negotiable. You must adapt in order to survive and thrive in this world. A lot of times you learn a philosophy, learn a system, learn how to do something, some skill, and then you get stuck in doing it that way. But because the world is rapidly changing, because people are changing, because culture is changing, because technology is changing, you have to change. Purpose over profit. It's not just about money, but don't confuse purpose with being broke. A lot of people believe that, if I just live out my purpose, I just got to sacrifice and not make any money for it. I'm gonna just be broke, but I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Listen, man, like, I've turned down a lot of opportunities and a lot of money because it didn't align with my purpose. I don't care how much money you're offering me. I'm not going. I'm not doing it. That audience doesn't call out the best in me. However, if you can't keep the lights on, then you can't serve anyone. And if you struggling, man, you sitting there eating pork and beans and canned food, and you're eating ramen noodles, and the lights is off, but you out here saying, man, I got to live out my purpose, bro. You've got to find a way to find a balance between turning your purpose into a profit, making your purpose profitable. If you stop learning today, you should stop leading and teaching tomorrow. If you stop learning today, you become slowly more and more out of touch and more irrelevant. So you need to become a lifelong learner, become a student of life, become a student of your students. Don't just say these cliches. No, man, it really matters. You got to keep learning. You got to keep humbling yourself. Stay curious about the new things that are happening. With the advancement of AI, you've got to learn how to use AI. Don't be replaced by AI. I saw several CEOs say that AI is not going to take people's jobs. People who use AI are going to take people's jobs who don't use AI. Okay? And so it's a matter of, how do you use AI as a conversation partner? The people who doubt you most are usually the ones closest to you. There are a whole lot of people outside of your immediate circle who will cheer for you more than the people closest to you. One mentor can literally change the trajectory of your entire life. Man, I went from being a high school dropout with a 0.6 to someone who had a 3.9. And I was not thinking about college. I was not thinking about I was thinking about going to the military, which is wonderful for people who want to be soldiers. But I had a teacher, Aaron Gruwell, who said, Manny, you can go to college. And I'm like, what do you, like, I don't know what that is. She sat me down, helped me apply to college, and I applied to her dream school. I didn't know what UC Berkeley was. She said, Manny, I think they'll see your potential. 0.6 to 3.9, from where you're from to where you are. I think they'll see your potential. And thank God they did. And the open doors at Berkeley led to me getting my degrees, led to me going to graduate school, getting my PhD, and building the life that I have. And and that teacher believing in me at that season of my life changed everything for me. Staying married, even to your best friend, is one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life, but the most meaningful and worthwhile thing you could ever commit to. My wife and my marriage to her, having to work through issues and problems, and having to work together to raise our children and to run businesses, and just work through differences, has helped me grow more than anything else in my life. And so finding the right person, after your faith in Christ, finding the right person is the second most important thing. Second most important decision you will ever make is the person you marry. But when you marry and you commit, you give it your all and you work through it. When it gets hard, you don't walk away. You work through the problems, you work through the challenges. Get premarital counseling to make sure you are compatible. But work through, once you make those vows, man, you seek counseling, you find friends, you find mentors, you find couples, and you work through and you do life together, and you grow together more than anything else. And you build something beautiful, and you build something amazing, and your family begins to flourish and your children flourish. And it is a blessing. It is a blessing. The wrong people in your life will cost you everything. I said everyone in your life is a wing or a weight. The wrong people in your life will cost you everything. If you have the wrong people on your team with the wrong character, have no integrity, can't be trusted, they will cause you to ruin everything. There have been seasons in my life when I had people on my team that I was trying to help, but they were doing things that were hurting my reputation and the business. And I considered it blood on my hands. You have to make sure that you have the right people around you. And you have to distance yourself from anyone in your circle that is toxic, that is jealous, that is resentful, that has some negativity about them. There's something off with them. They're not happy about your success. You feel like they're trying to sabotage you. They probably are. My friend, the wrong people can cause you to lose everything. And the wrong people in your life can slowly cause you to make allowances in your brain and in your morality that will cause you to cut corners and do some things that you wouldn't normally otherwise do. Get the wrong people out of your life. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and no one is going to refill that cup for you. Listen, you can give and give and give like I have. I've given 25 years of my best years to serving others, to loving others, to speaking in schools and to educators and to students and administrators, speaking to parents, speaking to business leaders, speaking to entrepreneurs. I've given my very, very best, but I had to create a process to help me refill my cup, or really have my cup refilled. I believe the spiritual disciplines put you in position to be refilled. I don't believe like when you pray you're solving your own problems. I believe prayer is putting you in position for God to help you through those things. I believe you are like the seed that is planted. You put the seed in good ground and you water it, or it's watered. The seed grows. The environment that the seed is in causes the seed to grow. In the same way, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You've got to put yourself in position to be refilled through prayer, through vacations, through meditation, through exercise, through dieting, through time with loved ones, quality time with your spouse, with your children. Sometimes just the sweetness of doing nothing. Those things, whatever refills your cup, that's a part of self-care. And that's really important, because if you keep giving and giving and giving and you don't fill yourself back up, eventually you burn out, and eventually you do some great harm to yourself and even to other people around you. I've seen people ruin their lives because they gave too much. Experience in one arena, success in one arena, doesn't automatically transfer to another arena. So I've spoken in arenas, literal arenas around the United States, to 10,000 people or more. I've spoken to 100,000 people. But speaking to people in person is different from speaking to people on YouTube and on social media. And so I'm having to learn new skills, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But my success on real stages doesn't automatically transfer to my success on social media. And so I'm having to learn to humble myself and try to learn about algorithms and all these titles and thumbnails and all this other stuff. I'm humbling myself at 48 years old, and I'm still learning and I'm still growing. Starting over at any age is one of the bravest things you can do. Sometimes people think they're too old to start over. I've seen people in their late 40s and 50s feel like their time is done, like it's too late for them to chase their dream. Man, it's never too late for you to start over, and it's one of the bravest things you can do. Failure is the price of admission, but it does not disqualify you. A lot of times, if you fail, a lot of people fail and they just give up. You fail one time and you feel like you're disqualified. You deliver one bad speech and you feel like you're disqualified. You try to start one business and you feel like you're not an entrepreneur. You try to write one book and it doesn't work out and you feel like you're a failed author. Man, listen, failure is the price of admission. You gotta fail forward. I tell my son, expedite your failures, speed up your failures. He wants to be an entrepreneur. He is an entrepreneur. Speed up your failures, man. Keep trying and learning from your mistakes and trying something, because every time you try something that doesn't work out, you learn about what doesn't work out, so you can move on to something else and move on to something else and try something else. The goal can stay the same. Your strategy might need to change. But failure is the price of admission, man. I can't tell you how many times I've failed. I have failed. I have failed. I have failed. But listen, everything worthwhile that I've ever done was on the other side of failure and fear. Time is something that you can't get back. Time is something you can't get back. You think you have time with people. You think you're going to grow old with people, and they pass away. Live like you're dying. Like, live like you're dying. Make every day count. Make every moment count. Don't wait for the special days, for the birthdays and the holidays to create memories and experiences. Put on those nice clothes. Take that trip. Do things just because you love someone, and you can make the special day special, but for me every day is a gift. Man, I didn't think I was going to make it to 18 years old. I've lost so many people. I've seen so many people where I'm from die. I used to live right next to a cemetery, and I saw those tombstones when I was a little boy, and it just always sent a chill up my spine that I'm going to go that way one of these days. And so when I got saved by Jesus, I was given another chance to make every day count. I was so close to death before I met Jesus, and spiritually I was dead before I met Jesus, that when he brought me to life, I've wanted to use every waking moment to maximize my time with people. I don't want to go to my grave with regrets. I want to go to my grave empty. I want to try and do so many things, and if I fail, at least I tried. I don't want to be a what if person. I want to make everything count. And so I don't really like small talk. I want to be present. I want to be involved. I want to be learning. I want to be engaged, because I might not be here tomorrow. So I'm trying to make today count. Make right now count. The room you're in shapes what you think is possible, and shapes in many ways what you become. In Romans chapter 12, Paul says, be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. It says, be not conformed to this world. Be not conformed. It's in the middle voice. What he is saying is the environment you're in shapes the kind of person you become. And if you're not careful, the environment you're in can limit you, can limit your mentality. Poverty in many ways is a mentality. And I grew up poor, and I remember seeing people with money, and we talked about them like, they got money, or that's she married rich, or he, and we would show up like hoping someone would give us a handout, hoping someone will bless us and give us some money, and if they didn't, then we was thinking, trying to figure out how we could take it from them, like stealing and robbing. And man, listen, man, the environment you're in often shapes what you believe and shapes what you become. So be very careful about the environment you place yourself in, that you hang out in, that you put your kids in, because that environment will shape them and influence you and them, and possibly ruin your entire life. I don't want to be in any environment where mediocrity is okay and it's normal. I don't want to be around anyone who is settling for less than their best. I don't want to be around anything or any environment where people are just wasting time. I want to do something, be something. I'm growing. I'm trying to go somewhere, and I want the people around me to be like that, and I want to be around people like that. But if you're just chilling, just wasting time doing nothing, and you're not on vacation, and you're not chilling with your family after work, what are you doing? Put yourself in an environment that inspires you, that's percolating, that's electrifying, that pushes you, that makes you want to be more. Like, put yourself in those spaces. And if you don't have any space, go find some of those places. Get online, man. Find some places. Meet up with some folks. Go to a co-working space, something. But don't be sitting around people who ain't doing nothing, don't want to do nothing, don't want to be nothing, don't want to go nowhere, just want to talk about people and gossip and waste their time and waste their life, and then be mad at everybody else that they're not going where they want to go, that they don't have what they want to have, that they don't make what they want to make, and everybody else is the problem. Man, put yourself in an environment where you are being inspired to be your very best. Last but not least, your story is your strongest asset. Don't be ashamed of it. I used to walk around with holes in my shoes that were 5 sizes too big because they were hand-me-downs. I used to put cardboard boxes in my shoes, little cardboard in my shoes, to keep my socks from falling through the holes. I used to wear shirts where my belly button, they were so small my belly button would be out. Like, man, I used to live in homeless shelters. There were times when I used to jump in this dumpster on Billings Avenue off of Colfax in Aurora, Colorado to look for food. Some of the hardest days and moments of my life. Those things shaped me. I can't tell you how many people I've given hope to just by being open and transparent with my story. And so I say that to say your story is your greatest asset. Stop being ashamed of it. These lessons, these hard truths took me 48 years to learn. These truths took me years, decades to learn, but I gave them to you in minutes. I want you to pick one of them and tell me in the comments which one helps you the most, which one you relate to the most, which one you needed the most. Just pick one. Which one of these resonates with you the most? And if you know someone who needs encouragement, please share this with them. And if this added any value to your life, please consider subscribing, liking this video, because I plan to again start sharing more of my life and my wisdom and my experience here with you. Again, I'm Dr. Manny Scott. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.